Hello, everyone. My name is Amr Solomon. I am the Executive Chairman and CEO of eVision. eVision is a specialized technology solution provider based in Cairo, Egypt, building software for the banking industry since 1999. Our solutions at eVision have always focused around the automation of the financial transaction lifecycle away from the core bank functions. Our service offerings include anti-money laundering, sanction screening, transaction reconciliation, dispute clearing, back office handling operations for transaction handling. Our vision at eVision has always been to enable a straight-through processing experience for a smoother financial transaction journey. Today, for the category Business Economic Model, we have selected to pitch our flagship software, Corzap. Corzap is a swift message handling platform designed and built in 2010 and has been evolving ever since according to the Swift rulebook. Started as a single module for correspondent fees calculation and claims identification to become a full suite of Swift message handling services built on a newly designed base message archival and search engine using state-of-the-art technology. By 2016, Corzap had two mature components. That would include a message tracking and a message operations engine. On the message tracking side, the solution could take a copy of every incoming and outgoing message. It could read and identify all the tags. It could trigger alerts and notifications to the different stakeholders involved in the transaction lifecycle. Note that Corzap does not interfere in the transaction journey through the financial institution, but will certainly monitor and keep record of the changing status updates of each transaction on all systems and trigger actions accordingly. On the operations side, Corzap could pair, match any financial message, validate fees and charges against correspondent agreements, identify the right to claim, what to claim, when to claim, and actually create the claim message and directly communicate with correspondents to claim non-compliant messages. At that stage in time, Corzap was delivering to its bank customers a unique and unprecedented straight-through processing experience in the Swift back office operations. In 2017, the whole puzzle was solved. With the introduction of the Swift GPI concept and capabilities, we immediately could see that the Corzap solution offering at hand, Corzap could play a crucial role in enabling Swift member banks comply with Swift GPI. That was the moment we decided to complete the Corzap platform with the Swift GPI monitoring and generation component. For us, that was the pyramidion, the uppermost capstone that sits on the top of the Egyptian pyramid. Once this module was plugged on top of Corzap, there was a paradigm shift in what Corzap was actually capable of delivering to the market. The amount of transparency that Swift GPI brings to the cross-border payment scene is unprecedented and a revolution in cross-border payments. All this is great, but where does the economic model for Corzap come into this equation? In 2018, after 1 year of the launch of Swift GPI, we realized that only 2% of the Swift community member banks could actually comply to this new Swift GPI rulebook. It was also worthy to note that the 2% were actually the headquarters of the Citibanks, the HSBCs and the like, and not even the regional branches. To top that, we noticed that it took anywhere between 12 to 18 months to actually get the 2% compliant, with major investments and endless customizations on legacy systems. It is true that 2% incur 50% of the daily traffic volume across the globe among themselves. However, the remaining 98% were suddenly cut off. Transactions flowing from GPI banks to non-GPI banks were disappearing and no longer traceable. To counterattack this very intelligently and to save the 50% GPI traffic, Swift decided to introduce the simple tracker, what is known today as the universal confirmation. The mandatory universal confirmation is the actual savior for the Swift GPI paradigm. This will entail that each non-GPI member bank must confirm the last leg in the transaction lifecycle, the credit of the beneficiary account, once done, with a maximum of 2 business days. This process will fulfill the cornerstone step in transaction traceability among the community. However, it will prep the readiness for all member banks to become GPI in the future. With this in mind, in 2019, eVision deployed the first Corzap cloud version on the infrastructure of a Swift Service Bureau partner servicing almost 100 SME banks in Africa. We reckon that should we be able to partner with existing SWIFT service bureaus, Corzap can become the catalyst for availing SWIFT GPI services to small and medium banks that actually comprise almost 80% of the SWIFT member community. Immediately, our target became to have all SME SWIFT member banks able to comply with SWIFT GPI smoothly, in a record time, at an affordable price. By November 2019, Corzap had established and published the first SWIFT GPI client in Egypt with a 100% compliance score, leading all the SWIFT GPI member banks globally on the SWIFT Observer ranking model, and sustaining this lead for almost 1 year to date. Today, Corzap continues to strive to build straight-through processing environments with our SWIFT service bureaus to avail affordable SWIFT GPI software as a service compliance solutions to all SME banks around the world to achieve fast, transparent, trackable cross-border transactions for all stakeholders of the financial transactions. Let all member banks and their clients across the world benefit from the SWIFT cross-border revolution taking place, and not to be passive members only, confirming the last leg in the transaction lifecycle. Thank you very much.